Hello, 5th grade math. Welcome to Thursday's math lesson. We're going to be working on page 103. So if you don't have that out, go ahead and get page 103. Looks like this. It says review of fractions at the top. You need that and a pencil. All right, we're going to get started with exercise 1, which is subtraction after borrowing. You have 6 problems in this exercise. We're going to do 3 together and then you'll do 3 on your own. So the first one, letter A, is 3 1/4 minus 1 1/2. Remember, the first step is to change your fractions so they have the same denominator. We can't do anything when we're adding or subtracting fractions until they have the same denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and write my equal sign, bring over my whole numbers so I don't forget about them, and a new fraction bar. Whoops. That went wrong. Okay, let's try that again. So for 4 and 2, what would be their least common denominator? Well, it's the least common multiple of 4 and 2. So the fastest way to find my least common multiple is to look at my, my biggest denominator, which is 4. Let's talk through the multiples of 4. 1 times 4 is 4. That's the very first multiple. Is that also a multiple of 2? Well, let's see. 2 times 2 is 4. Yes, it is. So that's the smallest multiple of 4. So it's the smallest common multiple. So that is our least common denominator. So I'm going to put 4 here and 4 here. Now I'm going to go ahead and change this one down here because it has a new denominator. But the one on top I don't need to change because the denominator stayed the same. So I'm going to go in my circle here. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Now can I subtract? No, because this right here is a 2. Let me write that again a little bigger. And this up here is a 1. I can't subtract 1 from 2. This is too big. So I have to borrow from my 3. It becomes 2, and the 1 that I borrowed becomes a fraction. The denominator has to match, so it's 4. The numerator has to be the same as the denominator, so my fraction is 4/4. Now I add my 4/4 to my 1/4. So my new number is 2 5/4. Minus 1 2/4. I subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. My denominator doesn't change. 2 minus 1 is 1. Always check your fraction to see if you can reduce. Can you reduce it? Nope, so we are good to go. All right, now we're going to go to our second problem, letter B. We have 10 3/5 minus 6 13/15. Okay, once again, we need to change our fractions because we can't keep going until those fractions have the same denominator. So I'm going to write my equal sign, bring over my 10 and my new fraction bar, my 6 and my new fraction bar. All right, what is the least common multiple of 5 and 15? Well, we'll start with our biggest denominator, which is 15. The first multiple of 15 is 1 times 15, which is 15. Is that also a multiple of 5? Well, 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15. So yes, it is. So 15 is my least common denominator. My bottom fraction doesn't change because my denominator didn't change, but my top fraction, yes. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Can I subtract 9 minus 13? No, I can't. So I need to borrow. I borrow from the 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. My new fraction is going to be 15 over 15 because my denominators have to match and the numerator needs to be the same as the denominator. So my new number is 9 and 15 plus 9 is 24 over 15 minus 6 and 13 over 15. Subtract 24 minus 13 is Well, 4 minus 1 is 1, or excuse me, 4 minus 3 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Denominator stays the same, 15. 9 minus 6 is 3. Check your fraction. Can you reduce? Nope, so we'll move on. 6 1/4 minus 3 I'm struggling. 3 7/8. So first we need to have the common denominator. What would be the least common denominator for 4 and 8? Do you have it? Did you say 8? You're right. It would be 8. So again, my bottom fraction doesn't change, but my top fraction, yes. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Then I can't subtract 7 from 2 because 7 is too big. So what do I have to do? Borrow. That's right. So I'm going to borrow from the 6. Gives me 5 and 8/8. So my new number is 5, and 8 plus 2 is 10 over 8. And then the bottom one doesn't change. I'll just bring that over. Now I subtract. 10 minus 7 is 3 over 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. So my new number is 2 3/8. Can I reduce it? No, so I'm going to move on. All right, exercise 2 says mark under the proper fractions. Remember that a proper fraction, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So if your numerator, the number on top is smaller than the number on the bottom, you have a proper fraction and you need to mark it. If it is not, if your number on the top is bigger, don't do anything, it's improper. Number 3 says simplify these fractions. So that means if it's improper, you need to make it proper. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. If it's proper, you need to reduce it. All right, let's look at this first one. 13 over 7. Improper or proper? Improper, because the top number is bigger. How do we make it a proper fraction or a mixed number? We start by dividing and we write the remainder as a fraction. So we divide 13 by 7. How many times can 7 go into 13? 1, very good. And 13 minus 7 is 6. So the remainder is 6. That means we put the 6 in the numerator and our divisor, which is 7, in the bottom. So it's 1 6/7. All right, 6/10. We need to, well, tell me, is it proper or improper? Proper, because the number on top is smaller than the number on the bottom. So I need to reduce. I need to find the biggest, the greatest common factor for 6 and 10. What would that be? Did you figure it out? It's 2. 2. So now I divide the top and the bottom both by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Very good. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Yes. And there you are. That's it. Now I have 15 over 2. All right. Is this proper or improper? Improper, because the number on top is bigger. So what do I need to do? I need to divide. 15 divided by 2. How many times can 2 go into 15? 7. Very good. 7 times 2 is 14. 15 minus 14 is 1. That's our leftover. So our 1 goes in the top, and our denominator stays the same. All right, you're going to finish number 3, letters D through J, because we just did A, B, and C together. All right, we're going to finish up with exercises 4 and 5. In exercise 4, it says mark under the greater fraction in each pair. So let's do A together. You have 1/2 or 1/3. I want to know which one is bigger. Well, when my numerator is 1, all I need to do is look at the denominator. The one with the smaller number in the denominator is actually bigger because it means you've divided it into less pieces. So that means that 1/2 is bigger. So I'll color under 1/2. Use that same rule to do letter B and letter C, only with letter C, your denominator is the same, so you look at the numerator. The one with the bigger numerator in this case is the bigger number. All right, letter D, 1/2 or 3/4. Well, in order to compare these, since your numerator is not 1, they need to have the same denominator. So just as if we were going to add or subtract, we're going to change them into fractions with the same denominator. So I need to find the least common denominator. So what's the least common multiple for 2 and 4? Well, we just did a problem like this earlier in the lesson. It's 4, right? So this fraction doesn't need to change, but this one does. Okay? So I need to, well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I multiplied it 2 times 2 to get 4. So I need to multiply my numerator by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now, just like the other one, since my numerators are the same, or denominators are the same, I look at my numerator. Which one has the bigger numerator? 3/4. So that is the bigger one. All right, now let's look at exercise 5. That says, write the missing numbers. So we have a lot of different types of missing numbers that we're looking for. So I'm going to give you some examples and tell you the letters that are similar to these examples. So the first one is letter A. All right, now this one is very, very simple. 3/8 equals how many 24ths? Now again, I'm not sure exactly how Miss Jessica does this with you, so I'm going to show you the way I do it. You feel free to do it however Miss Jessica has taught you, okay? If you like the way I do it, go ahead. If she taught you exactly the same way, woohoo, we're checking. If not, just do it how you can understand it best. So I start here, 24, and I go in a U, okay? So 24 divided by 8 is 3. Now I multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. And that's my missing number. All right, letter B and letter C are done exactly like that one. All right, now let's look at letter D. This one is just reducing. 2/4 equals how many halves? So I'm reducing. I divide 4 by 2 to get 2. So that means I need to divide my numerator by 2 to get 2. I need to divide my numerator by 2. What do I get when I divide my numerator by 2? I get 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. Wah! There we go. That's better. Okay, letters E and H and I are the same way. So E, H, and I are done the same way, except for letter I, you're looking for the denominator instead of the numerator, but you're still reducing, so it's done the same way. All right, letter F. This one is different. It's interesting. You have the number 5, and then you have 4 and something over 3. All right, the number 5, if I take it and I change it to 4, that means I took 1 away from 5, and I changed it into a fraction. Remember, you can change a number, you can change the number 1 into a fraction, any fraction that you want, as long as the numerator and denominator are the same number. So that means that my numerator and denominator here have to be the same, so that this fraction can equal 1, because 1 plus 4 is 5. So what would be the numerator then? If my denominator is 3, it is also 3. Okay, letter G is done the same way. All right, and our last one that's unique is letter J. And this is the only one like this. So this is your last one. You have 5 2/3 equals, and your denominator is 3. So this means we're changing it into an improper fraction. Remember, to change to an improper fraction, you multiply your denominator by your whole number. So 3 times 5. I look at it like this. 3 times 5, and then you add that answer to your numerator. So 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. And there you go. All right, I hope that you had fun with this lesson. Let me know if you have any questions, all right? I will see you in the next one. Bye.